some realistic fire stencils. So I think we'll learn a lot on this. I think I'll actually learn quite a bit too myself, because I haven't really done a portrait the way that I'm going to be doing this, because there's a bunch of different ways that we can tackle this. Some better than others, but the way I'm looking at this photo right now, I feel like I want to paint this in a certain way that's is a little different than I would usually do it. So we'll check it out. Hopefully it turns out good. But first things first, basically I got the image. This is another AI image that I was able to get off of ChatGPT. If you're not familiar with that, you can go back and rewatch our live, what was it, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? We do have an AI video that shows what we did with the phone, how we prompted, and the images that we came up with. This week was supposed to be the part 2 to the grill. We went ahead and postponed this for this reason. But I did, like I said, I pulled this off of AI. I just basically prompted it to give me a person that looks like Ozzy Osbourne, and put it on this tank panel design. So what I did is I just uploaded a picture. You can kind of see it here, where how that has that top. So I just took the picture of this, put it into ChatGPT, and this is what it prompted out. Looks great. I don't think I really actually made any changes. I just went with this. I did prompt it one more time to get a logo. I said I just wanted an Ozzy Osbourne kind of logo, and did it a couple times. This is the one I felt like was the best. So we'll go ahead and put that in there as well. But okay, we'll get going on this. All right, this is the stencil. So this stencil is just made out of paper. Same thing as what we got here. Just a regular paper, regular inkjet printer. And what I did is all I did was just cut out the dark spots. And a couple things I want to point out. One thing in particular is, let me show you here. So like I cut out all like the dark spots in here, keeping it all together. So if there's certain spots here where there's like a little island that kind of holds it together, there's a reason for that. Is because I wanted to keep the pieces all together. So we're going to have to finish those. You can see there's just little notches right there that kind of hold everything together. So I won't complete the cut. I'll just leave those little connectors in there. Another thing that a lot of people will tend to do is when you first start, you kind of get lazy when you cut. So for instance, like if we were to cut this little sliver out like I did right here, or even that one like right here in the cheek as well. If you look real close here, you can see that I made sure I kind of followed the shape. I didn't make the shape like perfect. Like I kind of like made it jagged on purpose. If you make it, it's easy just to go and make a quick swipe, because but what you really want to do is you want to concentrate on making sure you get the detail in the cut, because it makes a big difference. Like if you even rolling around this little nostril right here. Let me see if I can get that to zoom in correctly. See, it kind of cuts around that corner, and some of those areas are, there we go, are really, see that right there, that little chunk right there? You can easily miss that, but that little sliver basically completes that nose, because without it, it looks a lot different. Not as good. Okay, enough of that. We kind of know about the stencil. We'll come back and we'll refer back to this. Real quick, we'll get to how I mix up paint. You want to throw that drawing I have up there, if you would, Ash?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you, Bubba gifted 10 memberships.
Oh, all right, Bubba. Man, Bubba hooked it up, came through on some membership for you guys. Did I say that right?
They said it was echoing, so I'm just checking. I muted this mic, so I'm just making sure it sounds better.
Okay. Hopefully that does.
Hold on. Yes, sounds better. Okay, you want me to show them that picture?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. So I took this same image, I put it into an app called Photo Room. And you can do this with a lot of different apps. You just go in there, and what you do is you just use the little color picker tool, and you just kind of hover over where you want to take the color from, And then what I do is I just fill in the little square with that color. So I'll make a cube, and then I'll fill it with the color, the cube with the color of whatever's in the painting. So that I kind of have the colors that I'm looking to paint on this thing. So first one, the lightest color, as you can see, is not, it looks yellow. If you look on there, you say, oh, that color's yellow, but it's really not. It's like this pastel kind of, what I did basically, I mixed yellow with white. You can see it off the edge right here. Yellow with white and a couple drops of red. And the only colors that I'm using on this, on all of these, is just yellow, red, and blue. And then I'm using black as well. But the important thing is not to use black until the very end. You see that last darkest, this one right here? That last darkest cube, it has black in it. But I wouldn't put black in anything else. That the brown one that's next to it, and then you see how it gets more orange, and then even brighter orange, and then into like a yellow orange. You don't want to use black all the way through that because that's going to mud everything up. So definitely don't do that. So here's the first color. See that? I mixed it up right there. Looks pretty good.
Drunk Monkey also just gifted 10 memberships.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Someone said, now you're going to have to do one of Hulk Hogan. We were talking earlier and said, if you would have known that earlier in the day, someone said you should have done Hulk Hogan and Ozzy wrestling.
Yeah, I could have.
That would have been
we
cool.
Did talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. We got that first color out of the way. Now we got the second here. Our stir stick, and we'll stir this up. Okay, so basically what I did is that first one that I had right there, what I'll do is I'll make enough of that to make the rest of these colors. So what I did is I took a little bit of that one that's previous, I added a little bit more red to it, and a little bit more white to it as well. And I came up with this color, which it might be a little brighter than what you're seeing there in that second color, but that's what we're going with. We're just trying to get it close. Usually I would have this printed out. I ran out of colored ink, but usually I have this printed out, and then right on the bottom I would like airbrush a little swatch next to it to see how close it is. But we're just kind of eyeballing it off of what we can see. So that's the number 2. Okay, so we see it starts to, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Where am I? I'm missing one.
Black? Is it black you're missing?
No, I'm missing the
second darkest color?
Yeah, I'm missing that second darkest color.
No, you're not. Isn't it right here? This one? Or is this the black?
No, that's the black. What did I do with that? Oh, that's weird. Okay, well.
Are you sure this is the black? It has all that in there?
Yeah, it is. Sure. 100%. I'll make another one real quick. I'll show them how to make another one. What did I do with that? I may have accidentally turned it into another color. I may have turned it into this color. Anyways, okay, the third one we're skipping. Here's the fourth one. And basically on the third one, all I did was put a little bit of blue into the mixture. So this has yellow, white, red, and blue, and a little bit of blue to make it that brown. If you do too much blue, it's going to make it a darker brown. So instead of making the mixture darker by using black, which will mud it up, we're using blue to make a brown. That way we're tinting it that way. If not, this would be like it would look like, you know, that paint when you clean your brush, all the paints get together, ends up turning into a brown black. That's exactly what it looks like. But you see how this is still clean and fresh? Black wouldn't look like that. Okay. So I'm missing that middle one. So let's go ahead and see if we can mix that thing up real quick. So we'll go ahead and take some yellow base coat.
Scoot it over just a bit.
Okay. yellow base coat, and then we got red base coat. Whoa, that might be too much. Let's see.
Drunk Monkey said, the one thing I need to work on is mixing colors.
Yeah, just remember, don't use black. And when you're mixing colors, don't use black until the very, very end.
You took it out of the view now.
Oh, there we go. You see how that's kind of turned into actually a really, really bright orange. So if we look at that, we need to make that a little bit darker. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more red to that mixture. Just add a little bit of a time, because once you get it too dark, it's hard to go lighter again. Got to use a lot of paint. There we go. We're getting closer now. Still needs to be a little darker, right? A little darker. What we're going to do, now we're going to take our mixture that is the second to darkest right here that we used, the fourth one, and we're just going to pour a little bit into this.
Can't see. There you go.
There we go. See, we're starting to get that dark. It might need just a little bit more of that. Yep, just a little bit more. Okay, we'll go with it. Looks like it. Well, let's put a little bit more red. A little bit more red.
Can't believe Adam isn't measuring anything. My OCD is going crazy.
Measure? Oh, man, no time for measuring. Okay, we're looking good now. Yeah, let's get that. Pretty good. In the ballpark. We're not trying to get exact because we're not really matching up photorealistic. Like some things that are photorealistic and you want it to look exactly like what it's supposed to look like, then you would have to get these like perfect. Okay, so we are going to put this off to the side.
Deacon just sent a $10 super chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Someone said, Ron says, Adam measures with love.
There we go. I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that off the screen if you would, so we can get. All right, we're gonna get to it. All right, first things we're gonna get this Ozzy Osbourne logo. We're gonna put that right there. So let's go ahead and we'll get that out of the way. So this is Limeline has 12 inch or 13 inch? 13 inch vinyl paper. So this is made for stencils. Will not leave any kind of residue. Pull it off there. Won't leave any residue, and it's removable. Nice thing is it fits right into the Cricut Maker or any kind of whatever program you're using, or you can use it and hand cut it as well. We're using that, so we put that into the Cricut Maker right off of the AI ChatGPT app. We also have the Limeline transfer tape. Nice stuff about this, it does have the grid on it. So yeah. What we'll do, we'll line up the grid. And we'll use this to use this to transfer it onto our panel there. Got it.
Someone said Ozzy may be gone, but his music will last an eternity. That is true.
Okay, so I'm going to put this right where it looks good. Probably, I like it right there. Let's go with it.
Dorkosaurus said, I just ordered a silhouette.
All right. So this will work in that. The nice thing is the Design Space app that comes with it. You get that app, you download it to your phone, and really you don't even need a computer. Just pull it straight from ChatGPT. You can ask it to clean it up if you want, and then you put it into the program, and you're good to go. Nice.
I like that font.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got our reference here. We'll always keep that around to make sure we can look to see where our lights and our darks are at. We've got our stencil here we cut out, just out of paper, like we talked about earlier. You turn around and kind of see where I've cut everything out. I didn't cut everything out, just kind of where I needed kind of make a roadmap. And we'll go back to this and crispen up our lines. As we get going, it'll get worse before it looks better. You'll kind of see the process. There's a couple, I want to go through real quick because there's a couple different ways that you can paint this. This is not the only way you can attack this type of style. The one we're doing is we're using regular pigmented base coats, and then we'll use candy over the top. Another way you can do it is you can use a root beer brown or a brown sepia, kind of like this, really, and you can paint it in like a cream. So you take a bunch of white and just put a drop of this in there, and you can paint all your lights, and then you can go through and you could shade with your darker kind of sepia color, and you could shade everything in, and then you could use candies at the end to be able to tint the colors on the top. So you could add the gold, candy gold, and the candy, red and orange and stuff like that. And that's one way to do it too. And I've painted like that quite a bit in the past. I actually was kind of back and forth whether I was going to do it this way or if I wanted to just make the actual colors and then we'll tint it with candy afterwards. And I decided to go that way because that's not the way I usually paint, and I know it's going to turn out nice and bright and vibrant, probably more vibrant than any other way that you could do it. The other way you could do it is just take black and white and paint everything white, paint everything black, kind of go back and forth with black and white a bunch of times, and then you can put candy over the top. Once again, that's going to kind of mud it up a little bit. Better option would be use like a really light cream and then a sepia like that, and then put the candies over the top. But we're doing it a little bit different this way. Like I said, pigmented colors on this. It's going to be nice, vibrant. Hopefully it turns out good. We'll find out.
What's the app called for when someone uses the silhouette? Do you know?
Design Space.
Is that for the Cricut and the silhouette?
Yes.
And then someone says, question, I bought a practice hood from you. What would you prefer to use, self-etching primer or epoxy primer first on the bare metal?
What was it? Epoxy primer was the first one?
Self-etching primer.
If you use epoxy, you don't need to use self-etching primer.
He's asking which one would you use?
It depends on the projects. Is it aluminum? That's
the hood that he bought from us.
Oh, it's aluminum. Self-etching primer. That's gonna be the fastest and easiest way. You could also just use a regular primer like I did on this. So I mean, maybe talk about that for a second. This is just an aluminum take panel, same as the hood. You see, it's just aluminum back there. What I did is I cleaned it with wax and grease remover, and then scuffed it down, and then I cleaned it one more time, and then I applied. You can use. I actually use high build primer. That's what I just used just out of the can. So high build primer right on the top, or you can use self-etching primer as well. Black base coat I just used just straight out of an aerosol can. So I haven't actually sprayed anything with the paint gun yet. This is all going to be airbrush and spray cans. Okay, enough talk. We need to get to this because we don't want to be here all night, do we? Okay, we got a Harbor Freight Avante airbrush. Hopefully it's good and clean, ready to go. We'll find out. Okay, we're going to take our lightest color. Okay, so you can see here. Move this over here. There we go.
Drunk Monkey said we're working on something really special with the helmet shape from Limeline.
For the helmet panel?
He said we're working on something really special with the helmet shape from Limeline.
Oh, right on.
What is that?
I have no idea. It's a surprise. You like surprises?
Yeah, maybe it is a surprise. Unless you want to tell us.
Okay, so I'm going to put this where I want it, and I'm going to register where it needs to go. This is pretty important because this is where it's going to stay. You think right there, Ash? Oh, looks great. We'll go with that. We'll have a little bit of overflow over the Ozzy. Let's do it. You can see how yellow it looked on the paper. You see that?
Nope, they can't.
See that? See how yellow that looks?
There you go.
Wait till we pull it off. So obviously this is all of the dark areas, and we're just making them lighter right now just to register them so we can see them.
Drunk Monkey said they're working on crystal lumalure.
Whoa.
Sounds like it's bright. Shiny, maybe, huh?
Man, we got to have Drunk Monkey on here to show us that the crystal effects, though, because I know I'm not getting it right.
Well,
he's blowing away. Okay, let's see if we have him registered good enough. Oh, yeah. He's good. Okay, looks pretty scary right there, huh?
You want a little tape to tape that guy down?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll stick it right there, huh? Okay. So we got him registered. So looks okay. You can see everything. We're about to make it look worse, so don't worry about it because really the fine details and stuff doesn't come in until later. What we're going to do is we're going to take our paint and we're going to make sure it's thinned out enough. I might take a little bit more thinner and thin this out a little bit more because we want this to be really soft and have really smooth blends. The thicker the paint, the more blotchy, and it's too much pigment to the paint. So really reducing this down is key to make sure it's really watery.
Lumalure, isn't that the electric powdered paint they said?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's pretty. John Booth, actually, our buddy, he actually messed with that. He went to a Lumalure class. Okay, so I thinned that out quite a bit. So now you can see it's not so harsh, nice and soft. Before we had a lot of paint coming out. So let's go ahead and what we're going to do is I'm just going to take this. Now I'm just going to post up so I can see it. And what I'm doing is I'm just looking for all the brights. I'm going to pretty much just highlight everything that's brighter. And I'm going to keep everything nice and soft. And I'm not just working on one area and trying to detail it out. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to overall just get the paint on and get the lighter colors on. And then we'll go through and hit those with darker colors.
Drunk Monkey said that Lumalure is based in Ohio.
Really?
Oh.
You can see all the teeth nice and bright. Make sure we get some texture in here. When you first start, it's kind of a free-for-all. There's nothing you can't really do it wrong. Really, you just want to get the paint down and make sure you get good coverage to make the other colors brighter. One thing you could is, not mixing your paint properly and have it really blotchy, too thick of paint. You can see how it's nice and smooth, right? It's not real. You can't really see any kind of like airbrush strokes. It's all kind of just molding it together, like a clay artist would. They're kind of just working on areas kind of all around, just kind of just building it up slowly. We're not going to put too much detail in the hair. We really want to wait for the hair at the very end, because I feel like you can overdo the hair sometimes, and really you'll find that you don't need that much detail. Really, you just want to get the focal point right here, the eyes and the nose, and then make sure to get the teeth also in there where they need to be. And just kind of keep going back and forth, just keep going over the same areas, start to get them a little bit lighter. You can see right here, I'm kind of missing. See how bright it is right there on that nostril? And it's just kind of dead right here. Just, there's nothing there. We have to make sure that we get those light spots filled in. We're going to lose. See how it's starting to look worse? We pretty much lost his nose. But that's kind of the way it goes. It's going to get worse. We're going to re-register it. It's going to get worse. And then pretty soon we'll do the detail. And then you'll see it kind of all come together. So you have to have a lot of faith when you're doing these. It's okay that it gets worse. Really like a bright highlight right there, right around that lip.
We lost his nose, the bat lost his head. It all works out in the end.
Yeah, he's losing a lot right now, right? But if I don't get these lights in there now, if I don't get the light colors, he looks terrible. It won't turn out. It just won't. You got to make sure you get him in there. You can see back there is his tongue. Let me make sure we get that lightened back up in there, so where we can build that up. It's okay if we make it too light around here because we're going to be darkening that. We can still get it in there, but the most important parts is making sure that these are, at almost at full 100% coverage, which we're not even close right now. But building it up little by little. See, I'm starting to like rock my airbrush, making these little wrinkles in his head. The nose is really bright up through there. And I'm just trying to kind of find the shapes and look at them. I'm just kind of looking at them and see what they kind of look like to me. You know, there's like 3 dots there, and then they kind of just like fade down. Whatever you can do to try to kind of mimic what you're seeing there. Make sure we get the edge. Another important one, make sure we get this edge nice and bright there. You see, I came back and revisited the teeth 3 times already. You see, we're just going to keep going back and forth. Not concentrating too much on one area.
Drunk Monkey says, Adam amazing me with this stuff.
Well, we'll find out. We could, this could end up horribly. We don't know. Once again, not too much in the hair. Don't want to overdo it. Okay, looking pretty good. I'm going to kind of give this overall just kind of a wash. Yeah, we're getting pretty bright now, you can see.
Harport said, is there anything Adam can't do with an airbrush?
You guys are talking too early. You got a lot of faith in me, don't you? Hey, I appreciate that, Lo. Okay, so I'm going to kind of see the Ozzy kind of logo we put in there with the lime line. We're going to go ahead and just kind of just do a flame off of that. Kind of like a smoky kind of flame, just off the same color. We'll get around some of these letters nice and bright. And really, we're just painting a smoke right there. Just kind of just a roadmap of what we're going to do. So yeah, that looks pretty messed up right now, doesn't it? So the most important thing is make sure we got those brights in there, because it's hard to come back and redo those brights. You really want to do it in a certain, you want to get those done now. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't happen.
Bubba sent a $10 super chat. He said, it's hot out here. Here's for a cold treat.
Oh, thanks, Bubba.
Thanks, Bubba.
Ashley will buy herself an iced coffee tomorrow.
Heck yeah, I will.
Lavender latte.
Nope.
Iced.
Nope, that's your favorite.
I noticed. Okay. Looks horrible. Let's see if we can fix it, huh? We're going to go ahead
It looks scary.
It does. It does. Okay, so as you know, that was our first color that we put right there. It looks a lot different, right? It's quite a bit different on there. There's our first color. We're going to move to our second.
Looks really different on there.
And then we have our third color there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the second, move to the third. I'm going to re-register our stencil. we're going to regain a lot of our confidence back right here. Once again, I want to make sure we have plenty of reducer in this. We want it to be nice and thin. Paint that's too thick is hard to work with.
Chad Zorn said, "Tell them why Adam likes lavender." Ha ha ha.
I don't think I dare. It may get out on the internet. I don't think anybody would guess either. Okay, so the third color. You want to, you have a second? You can put up that picture again. I probably should have numbered them.
There you go.
Ooh, that's nice and dark. Okay, as you can see, the number one, I should have numbered these, but the first lightest color would be number 1, and the one over here would be number 5. So we started with number 1. We got all the lights in and more, kind of get it all brightened up with that. We're going to skip number 2, and we're going to move to number 3. Is that what I got? Number 3 in here? Yes. I think it's so. Let me make sure I got number 3. 2. Yeah, hold up. I was wrong on that. I got number. There we go. That's the one I need. Number 3. So we're going to skip number 2 because we're going to come back to it. We just want to register it with number 3 again. Don't go anywhere. Stay there. Okay, you can take that off.
Farport sent a $20 super chat and said, "Thanks for the knowledge and great products. Limelight is my favorite."
Hey, thanks, Lo. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, as I don't know if you guys know, but back in it's probably like 6-7 months ago now, 8 months ago, we had Lo on a couple of times, painted the mailbox and a couple other things. Glad he's still at it. Okay, let's let this brighten up a little bit. There we go. Nice and soft. So that's going to be our third color. We're going to go ahead and re-register. Always keep this guy back around because he's going to save the day. The important thing is to get it lined up exactly where the first one was. What do you think, Ash? You think this helped out? You think this fixed it a little bit?
No.
Maybe so. There we
I
go.
think it always looked so weird until the very end, and I'm like, "Holy cow! How'd you do that?" Not me. There's no way in hell I could do that.
Oh, come on. Wait a minute. You're not supposed to say that. We're going to have to get you on here now.
No.
Yeah, I think so. We got Ashley takeover. Let's hear it. Who wants to see an Ashley takeover?
Nope.
Next live. Our next last live.
Nope.
You gonna take on our final live next week?
Lo says, "I've got some project coming up. I'll call scheduled to do a live with you."
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna pull that back out of the airbrush.
You guys don't want to see me do it.
Who thinks Ashley can do it?
Someone said, "Last live?" ?
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, this is not the
We
last
got him
live.
freaking out.
This is not the last live. But yes, there is an end to this. Next week, as I promised, we're going to do the barbecuer. We're going to get that barbecuer done, and that'll be the last of the paint nights that we've been doing. We've been doing this for how long?
I don't know.
Shoot, a year and some.
A year? I don't think so, because I think it's
Wait a minute,
2.
no, because it's been 2 years. You're right. We've been through 2 Christmases. I know this, and we started around wintertime. So yeah, we're at a year and 2 years, 2 years and something. It's a long time. Yeah, we're gone from the late night paint night, but we're gonna be back. We're gonna kind of reinvent ourselves. We have a new warehouse. We're gonna be doing lives from there. We're gonna be getting more cameras, having more guests come on. We're gonna try to make it more interactive. We're gonna try to do our best to make this better. We've been doing this for like quite a while now. I feel like it's kind of run its course, but we have an open face paint booth. We're gonna have new lighting, new microphones, and the opportunity for people to come down and I can actually teach. So it's maybe less of me painting and more of other people learning how to paint and how to get through certain things. So yeah, if you like that, the sound of that, and it's gonna be we're gonna be what 5 p.m. California time. Same day, Thursdays, 5 p.m. California time. We're going to need a couple of weeks, get prepared, get our studio set up, and then we're going to be back same day, new time.
Okay, you're freaking everybody out. They're like, no more paint nights. Paint night Thursday night was the best day of the week.
Well, I appreciate that.
So maybe don't freak them out. We're still going to be here. It's still going to be paint classes and lives. It's just going to be a little bit different and earlier
and better.
And we are going to take a break for a couple weeks just to get moved into that new space and warehouse, and because it's a lot.
Yep.
But
new fresh internet connection. We should be good there.
Yeah, we got the Starlink, so hopefully that'll help.
And yeah, any kinds of you guys have ideas on what you want to see? Any kind of content ideas? I would love to bring in people to be able to do it, and I could teach them. I know my buddy B Diamond came on here, and he painted a couple things. It was quite amazing, actually, what he was able to do. And I really like that better because the pressure's not really on me. I like that. Here I'm just kind of performing, kind of showing you what I can do. But I've been doing this job for a long time. It's obviously going to be a lot easier for me than some other people, and I feel like we can get people in here that can give us some results with just being new.
Somebody said, there's so many diamonds in this group. Jeremy Diamond.
Yeah, we'll have Jeremy Diamond on as well.
Yeah, he said, I'll be there.
For sure, we'll have you on, buddy, for sure.
Captain said, okay, good. So not the last one forever.
Yeah, no, not the last one forever.
Just this
it's
style of
It's going to take a
life.
lot for us to give up.
Someone said, dang, I'm going to have to take my paint night alarm off my phone. Don't take it off. Just change the time.
Yeah.
And more ash pop-ins, please. I don't know about that.
What is it? What was that one?
And more ash pop-ins, please.
Oh, come on.
So no paint night next week?
No, we'll have a paint night next week. Yep, we're going to... I was actually supposed to do the barbecuer. I have it all painted.
Today
white.
you were supposed to do barbecue.
Today I was supposed to do. Next week we're going to actually do the graphics on it.
Somebody said a paint class. I'm new to painting, so to come out. And then another person said, I'm new to painting, so to come out to learn would be so cool.
Yeah, we plan on, we have the space to do it now.
Yeah, we plan on doing that. Like one of those, there's like a hotel literally just in the parking lot of where we are. So
yeah, super nice hotel. We're in a canyon down here in Weaver County in Utah. That's super cool area. Nice and convenient. We're only 30 minutes away from the Salt Lake City airport. So it's a quick Uber ride. And really, you wouldn't need a rental car. You wouldn't need anything. Just an Uber ride to the motel there, and then straight into where the classroom would be. So we feel like we can accommodate probably 15 to 20 students, but that will definitely be down the road.
Lo said, we are setting up to do paint live soon. We will need to fill the gap. Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Ben says, one suggestion, Ash in videos. We love Ash.
Well, she might be doing the next one.
No, I'm not.
Well, I believe in you, just so you know.
I bet. Well,
I'd love to see what you could do, because you love to critique my work.
yeah.
But I'd love to critique your art.
Well, you'll definitely do a lot of critiquing because I suck.
What I'm doing is I'm looking in here. See the tongue right here? I'm kind of just, freehand in there. See how it's brighter there? I'm not painting a tongue. I'm just painting a light area. That's like a little strip, and then it gets a little brighter right there, and then it's darker right there, and then it kind of fades out there, and it's darker, lighter. I'm just painting the lights and the darks. I'm not painting the tongue. Once you start painting eyeballs and noses and stuff like that, that's when you run into problems, because you're painting off your memory. You just need to look what's going on in the picture and try to concentrate on just that. Get the bright areas there of the tongue. Kind of brighter there, brighter there.
Bob said, Adam, I've been practicing what I have learned from you. Never painted till I watched one of your videos. I think I got some pretty good skills going.
Really? That's awesome. That's what I love to hear. People that they've tried it out, they found out, holy crap, I can actually do this. Because most people think they can't. They're like, oh, it's a portrait that's out of my wheelhouse. Can't do it. I can't draw. If I can't draw, I can't airbrush, right?
I can't draw.
That you can airbrush.
Even a stick figure I can't draw.
Well, I mean, if I need a stencil too. I mean, even if this was my drawing, I would rather draw it out on paper, make a stencil, and then build up the layers with your airbrush. This is easier than pencil drawing, to be honest, because what's an inkjet printer? An inkjet printer is ink that sprays little tiny pixel droplets onto the paper, just like this was printed out, just with tiny little droplets. If you look real close, well, you can't really draw droplets, but with an airbrush, you're spraying it on, so you're actually spraying droplets. You can get in there, super light paint, nice and even. We're able to kind of mimic what a printer can do, so we have the advantage. So in my opinion, I think airbrushing is easier than drawing.
Bubba said, I know one thing. Ash can draw the line.
Took a minute.
That did take you a minute. I saw you freeze for a second.
Did you see the light bulb pop on right when I got it?
Yep. Adam could teach me the airbrush, and I could teach him the crystal method, said Drunk Monkey.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, come on down. Or we can do it live on, just live on your phone. You can stream off your phone. Yeah, hit me up if you're willing to do that. We can get you on. Or if you've never seen Utah, come on down. Okay, so everywhere, see, I'm going to start doing a little bit of detail here. See, I'm getting a little bit closer. But it's still pretty rough, It's still just pretty loosey-goosey. All right, that's looking good.
See how we lost just a little bit of detail, but we're gaining more detail because we didn't lose as much. We didn't have to put down as much paint. So the first go around, we were covering black, so we had to put down a lot of paint. So we're going to lose a lot of the detail. So as we go on, less paint goes on, and just kind of build it up. See how it's just darker right there? Want to make sure we build that up a little darker now. And really, you can go in here and just go back and forth as much as you want, as long as you're within colors. Like, as long as you're in between 3 different shades, you can always go back and forth. And what I mean by back and forth is we can go back, hit this with the lighter yellow again, and just kind of like mold it back and forth. Looks like he's in pain, huh? Ah!
Yeah.
Let me just stub my toe. Okay. Yeah, he's hurting. Let's all right, we're gonna go ahead and the same color that we hit it with that, color number 3. We're gonna go ahead and hit that again. We're gonna lose some detail here. We're okay with it. Okay, nice and soft. That's what we want. All right, I'm going to grab, this is the shield we're going to use for the fire, but I'm also going to use this to kind of shield certain areas where I think we need just a little bit of a freehand shield to get a hard line. I'm going to do that here. Start about right here and then just move on with a little bit of darker paint here. Do this here. You can see right here, there's just a little bit of a shadow right there. So we're going to go ahead and start that shadow. We don't need to do this everywhere. Just to kind of help us get those hard lines. We're going to use this one maybe right here. Maybe that one right. There we go. That one right there. I'm being a lot lighter with my paint now. You see, I'm just barely rocking back on the trigger.
Adam, just trying to dodge the bullet. Is there a time when applying so many layers can become troublesome?
Too many layers of paint and becoming what?
Troublesome?
Yes, it can. Yep. Yeah, it can start to, especially if it's really hot where you're at, you could start to, get like a surface that starts to ball up a little bit. As long as you're using solvent-based paint, you can always use a little bit of glass cleaner. You can kind of clean it up. But you see it's starting to put a little bit of a texture on there. It's not too bad because I'm going pretty light. The heavier the paint gets, the more prone it is to get like a texture on there. And then it starts to really mess up your blends, because when you go to blend it at an edge, it gives it a texture, which could be beneficial in some cases, but not all. Like I said, we're going to lose a little bit of detail here, but we're going to be okay with it.
B Diamond said, Asher, I was going to stop by until I saw what Adam was going to paint. I knew he'd make me try to do it. Haha.
What was that? I didn't get that last part.
B Diamond said he was going to stop by, but he knows you'll make him paint.
Damn straight.
B Diamond, he's trying to make me paint next week, so I feel you.
No, it's going to happen. It didn't happen.
I think my stomach's not going to feel good that day. You know, it's hit and miss with that, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a really bad day that day.
Really bad day?
Yep.
Oh, man. It hurts.
Jeremy Diamond said, tell Adam to give me a call so I can help you guys move.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there all freaking weekend, pretty much.
I know, yeah. Yes,
We got a lot of it done, actually, so it's looking pretty good. We're looking to get in there in a couple weeks.
Do you have root beer brown candy that I can purchase?
Yep, we do.
Where are you guys moving to?
Go ahead and tell them.
We're moving to a new shop it's what's called Inuenta.
What?
Inuenta. That sounds funny.
It's in
Uenta.
Uinta, because it sounds like you're saying innuendo.
I know. That's why I said it sounds funny, but it's in space Uenta.
Yeah.
Like at the mouth of the canyon.
Yeah, cool spot. Much bigger. Like I said, it's going to be, we're going to be capable of doing classes in there, which is awesome.
B-Dime said, guys, it's a secret location.
Yeah, right. You tell no one. Okay. I'm going to kind of just raise over this just a little bit. There we go. So as you can see, it looks like we lost a lot of detail again, right?
Yep.
It always getting worse before it gets better. So that's okay. We're going to make it better. We're going to take our... Are we at our... we're our second to last color, right? I think so here. We're actually going to go back. Let's do this first real quick. We're going to go back to... Remember how I said you can kind of go back and forth? That's what we're going to do a little bit here. We're going to go back and forth real quick. And you can go back and forth as much as you want. Like we talked about earlier, you could get some paint dry up and kind of balls up on the surface. Could cause you some issues, especially if it's really hot. But I can get this in there. But you can go back and forth with, so we're going to go back and hit it with a little bit of light color. Before we go too dark. You don't want to go all the way dark and have it almost finished and then hit it back. Like you can just go a little bit with the light. You can't really, you have to be really careful with it. Here we can still kind of put it where we want. Okay, so see these bright areas right here? And the cheek, we want to brighten that back up.
When you first started airbrushing, how long did it take for you to realize that it gets worse before it gets better?
It was hard to really overcome that. Kind of right off the bat, I'm like, oh man, but I wouldn't really recognize it. I'd be like, oh man, I'm ruining this thing. Hopefully I can fix it. Like that was the thing, is I'm ruining it every time. and then I'm needing to fix it, and then I fixed it, and then I realized I fixed it. Oh, it looks a little better. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm ruining it again. Until you just come to the realization that that's what the process entails. Sometimes it's going to be like that. It's always going to really be like that when you're airbrushing this way. And even putting these highlights on right here, you know, it's you're still losing more detail. So we'll come back and fix that. We just need to make sure we get these lights in here where they belong.
When do you want me to spin the wheel?
Oh yeah, yeah. We're giving away 2 of these panels, not painted, and then also a combo pack of blue fine line tape. So all you got to do is hashtag Ozzy in the comments, and we'll give you a second to do that, and we'll go ahead and spin that wheel. Okay, we got it. Let's maybe a little bit right here. Doing good. I'm going to go ahead and maybe register the outside of this real quick.
You tell me when a good time is to do it, okay?
Okay, let me go ahead and I'll put this in and we can do it. There we go. Put nice backlighting on that. Once this starts to go darker, that'll really start coming together. What we're going to do is now we have the light in here. We're going to go ahead and start building off some of these flames. See how I'm kind of just building little chunks? I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's do it. Thinking here. Flames are way easier when you have like a logo involved. I always, instead of doing realistic flames, and somebody's like, I want realistic flames over the whole light, I try to convince them to do something, at least a logo, like a Harley logo or something in with it, because it helps break it up a little bit. And if you're not like super good at fire, it's easier to like break it up and make it look good. Even if you have a skull in there and then it breaks off the skull, kind of rolls off, kind of like we're doing with the Ozzy. At least you have something there, so your flames will turn out better if you can implement some kind of graphic in it, in my opinion. And see that how I kind of created that little hole right there? I feel like that looks really good.
You make it look so freaking easy.
Well, I mean, it's just layering, knowing how to layer and not going too far. We don't need a hammer to paint down too much. We're just going to start heavy in, and now we're starting to get a little lighter handed as we get going. So we're going to go back to the stencil.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
supposed to spin the wheel, but the buttons changed down here. So is it this one?
Yeah, it did kind of change, huh?
Yeah, it looks different.
Yeah, try it. I think that's it.
When did Adam start airbrushing? It looks effortless to him. This. Oh yeah. Ooh, it looks a little different. When did you start airbrushing?
That's a good question. Well, the first time I picked up an airbrush was in high school. And I actually painted a Harley Davidson emblem that I found in a National Geographic book. Kind of made a stencil, and then I didn't do anything for years. I went to Auto Body.
There's your winner, real quick.
Oh, Lewis. Congrats, buddy. You won. So all you gotta do is shoot us an email, info@limelinepaintsupply.com. Don't worry, because we're giving away another one of these at the end. So he just won a panel and a blue tape combo pack. So we'll get that sent out to Lewis there. And now you're gonna have to remind me what I was saying. Here we
You
go.
picked it up in high school.
Oh yeah, I picked it up in high school. Didn't do anything since. I ended up going to auto body school here locally at a community college. So I learned how to paint cars. I learned how to mix paint. I learned how to fix dents. I learned how to weld. I learned how to lead. A lot of that stuff like that. They also had an airbrush course there, and I took an airbrush course along with my auto body course, and kind of just meshed the two together. And did it as a hobby for a while. Me and my cousin Chad started painting out a garage, really. And yeah, that was it. 20 years in or so. Went out of business maybe like a couple times almost. It's not easy all the time, but yeah, you hustle, post online. There's a lot of ways to find customers. Just post, hey, here's my work, my books are open. But all you gotta do is really just practice. Practice. I think what they said, like what somebody told me once, they said 90 hours of airbrushing with a trigger, because you got to push down, pull back, having that muscle memory of that finger connected to your brain. Once you do it enough, in fact, I remember the day that it clicked. Like I figured out, like, holy crap, I was airbrushing something. I'm like, I actually don't even have to really think about it, because it's like second nature. It becomes second nature to rock back on the trigger, because that's pretty much when I'm airbrushing, and most anybody is doing this at a higher level, they're airbrushing like this. They keep rocking back and forth, doing dagger strokes. Pretty much it's like on, off, on, off. I'm going to show you right here. Let me make sure I have the right paint in here.
So pretty much you're saying this is the first time.
Yes. Okay, we're going to put, there we go. We're going to put the second to darkest color. So this still doesn't have black in it, which is important. This is just a little bit of blue in our white, yellow, and red mixture. So yeah, so see, what you can see right here, it's rocking back and forth. We're just creating little lines just like this. Nice and easy. Okay, back to the stencil.
What would you say the biggest reason is for dry tip?
Water-based paints are more prone to dry tip. And to be honest, I don't really have problems with dry tip. Like, I haven't even cleaned my tip off once. A lot of times when you have dry tip, you most likely have too thick of paint. But no, you see, I haven't been wrestling with dry tip at all this whole time. This airbrush has been spraying pretty dang good.
People say their fingers, a few people have said that their fingers cramp up.
Yes, it does at first. Yeah. But you'll get over it. Just like riding a bike.
Someone said I have to put my thumb up against my trigger finger for resistance.
Yeah. It's about time you take a break. Because it will hurt. It will hurt. Okay, we're going to darken all these areas up. I'm not going to hit it. See on the nostril right here? I'm not going to hit the whole thing. I'm going to kind of still fade it down from the top. So I'm aiming right here and letting the overspray kind of go down. I'm not just trying to fill this all in. You know what I mean? If you do that, you're going to be able to tell. So we were able to do that when we first started the stencil, but now we're getting darker. We need to be a little more careful about where we're putting our paint, because now we can ruin what we've just spent all this time doing, very easily by over shading. You really don't want to do that. Even this big chunk right here, we want to be careful. We don't want to fill it all the way in solid. You know, let's make a little bit areas a little bit darker. These little slivers, yes, that's fine. See how you get in here? You're going to have to get the whole thing. But big chunks like that, it's better just to still kind of blend it.
Water base is really bad for dry tip, mostly because it's so hard to get the consistency right.
It is. Yes, and it dries different. It dries different, for sure. Takes longer to dry, but for some reason it dries fast on your tip.
Peggy sent a $10 super chat.
We got what's that?
Peggy sent a $10 super
Thanks,
chat.
Peggy.
Thanks, Peggy. You're a poet and didn't even know it, Adam.
Yeah, we'll find out here. Let's see what's going on. See the middle of the tongue here? I'm starting to get that shadow in there. Okay. Got it. Oh, there we go. Is that starting to look better?
I
Wait a
don't
minute.
know.
Oh, we're good. We're good. Okay. So see right here where he's kind of missing his eyebrow? You can see it right here still. Kind of missing his eyebrow right there. We're going to go ahead.
There's more people named Diamond here than in a strip club, someone said.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
A lot of diamonds. Let's see. Let me try to get this. Since this is the same size, I'm kind of able to just match it up with what we got. Yeah, this seems like to be the best one right there. Okay. You get in here. Back to the freehand. We can also, I'm going to turn down my pressure just a little bit. And I'm gonna reduce my paint. So when you lower your air pressure and you want more control, so you lower your airbrush, you need to thin your paint out more, because now that there's less pressure coming out, you can see my lines are a lot thicker. They're much thicker, and they're just not blending as good. So if we put more solvent in here, more reducer to make that paint thinner, we're going to be able to get nice fine lines, even with this Harbor Freight airbrush. Okay, let's see how this looks here. Okay, there we go.
Great info, Adam.
There we go. Okay, so we got a lot of shading to do right here. Get the side of that chin right there shaded. We're going to kind of use our reference points here. See where the dark's going to go. See this line right here? See how it's a little brighter right there? It doesn't really show it in the reference here, but I always like to keep a little bit of backlight right there. Just something I like to do. So, most of the time I always follow the reference. There's certain things I kind of do that I know it's going to look good, so that's one.
That was a learning moment, they said.
All right. That's great to hear.
Somebody said, what PSI are you running?
I'm probably around 14 right now. Okay, another thing right here is, if you look real close, there's a little highlight right on the edge of that. See that? You want to make sure you keep that. And the way we can do that is we can just kind of pre-shadow that.
Somebody said, if I was going to use gold candy over metal flake, would use the gold candy first or do it after I do all my lines in black candy?
You do it after. Yep. Do your black first, your black candy, or your black base coat, whatever you're gonna do, and then you can do that after. I'm just shadowing this a little bit. Getting this caught up there. There we go. Okay, see how I have that? It's the little details just like that you can put in. A little bit of tip dry there, kind of splattered out. See that? See how I'm putting down a lot less paint right now? Real careful about where I'm putting paint. Take this guy right here. Just being really subtle with everything. Really concentrating on the lines that we're going to finish that line. We're going to kind of bring these ones in. Same thing here. We're going to kind of bring these lines in to make them look more realistic.
Do you cut out all your work or do you use the machine?
The words? Or the paper?
All your work.
I'm sorry, do I cut out all my what?
All your work.
Yes, I do. Yes. I always cut it stencil. On stuff like this. Now I'm just really just connecting the dots. You see how I'm just kind of getting everything to kind of flow together. See, like right here, we got some more wrinkles. There's nothing there. Let's go ahead and put those in. Nice and soft. Just the best we can, you know? We're not going to get it exact. But we don't need it exact. We just need it close. We talk about tip dry. Now I'm finally getting it. You see it when it whistles a little bit? Can you hear that? Your little bit of paint's drying on the end of the tip, and you can tell because it starts to splatter a little bit. Come around this mouth right here and shadow all this down here.
Just started my first project, got the middle flake done today.
Nice. Man, I'm glad I'm hearing people painting out there. It's not just me. I mean, if you airbrush at all and you haven't attempted this, you owe it to yourself to at least try. You're gonna surprise yourself. Even if you have a little bit of patience, you got it, man. Even Ashley can do it. She's gonna prove it. See, I'm just gonna kind of try to I'm just gonna mimic the texture I kind of see right here. We're really gonna darken up this hair. You see, I'm trying to follow the shape of what the part, like the cheek should be, what the hair should be doing. You know, like the cheek, I'm gonna be coming around and doing like U shapes because, you know, really this is gonna be kind of out a little bit more, and we're gonna be shadow underneath. Here, I'm kind of doing this method, going up and down and around that way because the hair is kind of coming this way. So the direction you're spraying, you can see that I'm always kind of just following around, you know, what, how you would mold or shape the part. Like we mentioned molding with clay earlier. It's kind of like that. You know, we're like bumping things back with darker paint, and we're bringing things forward with lighter paint. We're going to come in here and see how we're just going to kind of just give it a little bit of detail up in these. You don't need to do every tooth. Just a little bit here and there. Get that shadow going in there. Oh, had a little bit of splatter right there. Right off the top of my airbrush. Okay, pretty much going to darken the hair, and we will lighten it back up once we get back into the lighter colors. Let's see, here we go. Oh, right here, that'll work. Right here. Here we go. Make that tongue shape in there. Middle of the tongue there. Okay. All right, looking good, much better.
Rob said, I think when you guys get settled in the new spot, Ash, we should do a critique night where we show paint we've done and can all put input into it. We do it at the tattoo shop and it works wonders.
Wow. I like that idea. Okay, see, I'm just kind of fading all that in, kind of smoking it and pushing it back.
So are the members going to get a new shop tour video?
Yep, we'll do that for sure. We'll do that for sure. Okay, let's go back to the lightest color again, and we're just going to punch out some of these areas that I feel we have a little more shadow right there. Really, you can go back and forth on this a bunch. You know, as much as you want, really, just go back and forth, putting things where you need them to go. We're going to get it just good enough tonight. Also, we're going to be adding some candies to this, so don't forget we're going to be able to brighten all this up with a little bit of candy work. Okay, back to the number 1 color. We're just going to go through and we're going to start highlighting. Once again, just kind of what we did before. Top of the nose, cheek area again. You can also use a little bit of stencil here. I can see a little bit of hard line there. A little bit of hard line there. And then we'll take and we'll brighten out outside of this hairline here. Okay, there we go. See it? That lights them up from the back. I love that look. Okay, we still got a darker color to go. We got one more. This is going to have a little bit of black in it. So we will go ahead and we'll get this cleaned out. Okay, last color. We're going to be really careful with this. We got, basically it's black, and I took a little bit of the darkest brown that we had, and we kind of mixed it together. So this is not all the way black, but it does have black in it. This is the first time I use black in any of this besides the background. So we'll go ahead and get that thinned out a little bit. Making sure we have this thinned out really good is really important.
They're taking a poll if you need hand tattoos or not.
Yeah, not happening. Nothing against hand tattoos. They're just not for me. Okay. Let's go ahead and re-register this. And it already looks pretty good, right? It's not too bad. We're going to make this thing a lot better. I'm going to make sure we got this lined up exactly same spot. There we go. Okay. Darkest color. Once again, we're just going to kind of hit the tops of those nostrils where they would naturally shadow. See, I just hit the very top of that. Same thing here. Just the top. And this the bottom of these teeth right here. Don't really want to hit up there because that's not... I mean, that's actually pretty dark. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Just nice and light.
Do you use tack rags as you go along with each color?
No, not really. You can. You definitely can, especially if it's getting a little dry, balled up like we're talking about. You can help remove some of that with a tack rag as well. So yeah, it's a great idea though. go. Make sure we're good and got everything registered there. Let's this right here. A little more right here. Kind of take a peek at it before we let it loose off the same spot, because we want to kind of keep it there. We're going to darken all of this. There we go. We're going to darken that side. This side's going to be dark. This side's going to have a backlight to it. That looks great. We'll go ahead and give this a little bit of a fade right here. I'm going to go ahead and thin this out just a little bit more. I want to be really careful how much I put in here. And this is the point where your artwork is the most vulnerable. If you make a mistake now, you have to kind of go back through the process to kind of bring it back up in order to get it back to the point. I could have a lot more detail on this if I really was to spin. Basically right now I'd put in my headphones and I'd go back and forth between shades again before I went to the black. I'd leave the black for last, but I'd kind of just like I said, mold the piece together with lights and darks and lights and darks. As long as you're not introducing any black, you're not going to have any problems. You're going to be able to switch back and forth between them. Once you start going to a black, you're going to start mudding things up. So you just kind of have to be really careful about how much you put down and when to apply black. Even though this isn't black, all pure black, it still has black as one of its main paint colors. Hey, that's flowing pretty good. See how that's just really wet? That's what we want. It almost like blows out, like it blows out because it's so wet. But as long as we're using it really light, this is really going to help us out. It's going to be able to darken some of these areas that we need quite a bit darker. See all that needs to be darker? We need some contrast here is what we're looking for. So what we can do is we can start to take our stencil. We can kind of cut it apart as we need it. I'm going to just go ahead and cut that. And then maybe just cut this one here. And now I can fold this over. I can use that as a little shield. See that? There we go. See how nice and how that just brightens that up down there because we have the dark next to the light. Kind of need to do that around all of these areas here.
What's the AI app you use?
Just the ChatGPT. A lot of them are, you can use Gemini, Claude is also another one. They're all going to do about the same thing. You just got to experiment with it. If you don't know how to use it, just experiment. Try it out. Upload a picture. The funny thing it was with this one, when I asked it for a picture of Ozzy, it wouldn't actually do it. So I just said, hey, make me a person that looks like Ozzy Osbourne. And it was just fine with doing that. Sometimes you got to prompt these a certain way to get what you want.
Drunk Monkey said, how about we get matching tattoos, Adam? You get my logo and I'll get yours.
I'll do it, but it's going to be on my butt cheek.
He said on the hand.
No. I'll do it on the butt cheek, though. I'm down. I'd love to have a drunk monkey. I'm going to darken a couple more areas right here. There we go. Set that out, make that a little darker. And really, at this point, I can go in. I can darken things up as needed. I can get in here, start to put a little bit of hair, look at that, like an eyebrow. Really, I would just put in my headphones at this point and go to town. Being really soft with it and bringing it up. Trying to see how it kind of looks stenciled in the hair. That's kind of the way we want it to look. We don't want to overpaint the hair too much. But you could definitely spend more time on this than what I'm doing now. Kind of hone it in. But you can see what we got here is still just, it's great results. Okay, looking good. Let's go ahead and I'm going to darken up some of these areas. And we're going to bring in some candy paint. How's that sound? So we're going to be done with the pigment. Besides, we are going to go back. We'll use the color number 1, or lightest yellow. And we're going to go back and forth between candy colors to kind of create this more of a realistic looking fire. I kind of have the smoky kind of look down, and now we're going to give that a little more detail. Pull off the logo there, and we'll see how this thing looks.
Are you doing tangerine candy over it or what?
Yep. Well, you know, I never really spray tangerine candy. What I do is I'll just mix red with yellow. Basically, it makes tangerine. So this, I'll actually show you that right now. Okay, so we're going to take some clear base coat. This one we'll leave empty.
Can't really see that.
And then we will, here, we'll throw in some red candy. Oh, shoot. Where's my red candy? Oh.
Adam, Ozzy's looking down, watching this and smiling.
All right. I think so. Red base coat. Red base coat. Here, we got some gold candy. Let's go ahead and get that. Put a little bit of reducer in that red candy, and I think I'll be able to, there we go, loosen that up a little bit. So this is the red candy, Limeline red candy. It's comes in a concentrate. That's why we're putting clear base coat in this. Okay, I think we got it now. There we go. This is a transparent color here. Got red candy. Get that mixed up. Got some gold candy. Kind of put, yes, well, I kind of put my tangerine in there, or my red in there. Kind of turned it a little bit tangerine, but we're good with that. Let me put a little more in there. Okay, so basically I just mixed my gold and my red together and I made my tangerine. I already have my red right here ready to go. I'll go ahead and make another gold. Don't need much. fact, I'm going to mix way more than what I actually need. Gold there. Okay. Gold. Okay, now we got a gold candy. Gold, tangerine, red. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with the gold.
When will your website have the paintable gas tank again?
It should be on there. It should be on there. Make a note for me and I'll double check. If it's not on there, I'll make sure it's on there. It should be in the paintable objects area. Okay, I put some reducer in there as well because not only do candies need to be mixed with clear base coat or inner coat clear, they need to be reduced out just like any paint because we need to make it thin enough to make it sprayable. If we're spraying it out of a spray gun, we can make it a little bit thicker. If we're spraying it out of a little airbrush like we're doing, it needs to be thinner. It needs to fit through this little guy. So let's get this airbrush cleaned out real good. Hit it with our gold candy. If you guys have been following the channel for long enough, you obviously know what a candy is. Candy is a transparent color. It's like a dye rather than a pigment. It's not going to cover. It's just going to change the color. You can see I sprayed it right over. Let's see if somewhere you can see here. You can see I'm spraying it right over this black right here. You see it's not really doing anything. It's not covering it. It's only covering over the white. It's because it's transparent. It's only going to really cover over what's lighter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just tone everything. And watch what this does. It's going to start brightening everything up. And since light or yellow is or gold, let's say, since gold is it's not a very it's not a very strong color. It's a very weak color. So we're able to be really generous about how much we're laying down. You can really just layer over the whole thing, to be honest with you. If this was red candy, it's not something you want to do. Okay, see how that's kind of blending up. It's giving it like a good like monotone kind of it's just warming things up, right? We won't do too much. We don't need that much. We're just going to do enough to kind of warm that up a little bit. And then we're going to go back with, let's see here. What should we do? Let's go ahead and we're going to hit this with a little bit of red candy.
It's looking rad.
Oh, yep. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so see this red candy? I'm going to be real careful about where I'm putting it. I'm going to put it in that hole right there. Right there. Kind of just covering the background. See all this black right there? We can kind of give it a little bit of a red hue. You see it's not doing much. You know, red is a much stronger candy than what the gold is, so. We're not going to cover it all. want to lose too much detail in that. Okay. We're good with that. Let's go ahead and go back to our original pigmented color, which is the number 1. We're going to revisit the number 1 pigmented color. Hang with me, guys. We're almost done here, so we're going to be giving away that last tank panel and tape set. Okay, we're going to pull out our stencils again. Grab this guy right here. Put another one maybe right here. And we're kind of going to put another layer to this fire. We're not going to go over what we already did. We're going to create a new layer. I'm going to start kind of where the words are here. Make it look like the fire is kind of rolling off them a little bit here. I'm just going to try to kind of interconnect these a little bit as we can. It's really important not to go straight over your old, like you don't want to go like right on that one right there. See how we already have that in there? I mean, you could, and if you were to do that, it would be best to do something like this. Use like a different shape and spray it off a little bit so it looks like it's like passing over the other one. Try not to hit it right on it because you're just redoing what you just did. It wouldn't make any sense at that point.
What's the ratio that you're using when you spray candy on an airbrush?
Depends on how fast I want it to cover. It's 30% candy, 70% clear base coat. You can do up to 50-50 though. And then you're going to reduce it 1-to-1, approximately 1-to-1. It all depends on what airbrush you're using and what you're doing. Because you want to thin it out more, if you're using, like I mentioned earlier, less air pressure means thinner paint. Yeah, I'm just going to come in here with some freehand, kind of connecting them together. Another one right here. Creating these little holes right here. Kind of connecting it into another piece.
Austin's on said Adam is the goat.
Thank you. And around all these letters, we really want to bring certain parts of those out, not all of it. I'm going to make it look like some of it's just lighten it up. Okay.
The modern day Bob Ross.
Let's
What are we painting tonight?
get Ozzy. Thanks for joining in. The great thing is with these lives, guys, you can go back and rewatch what we have. Live content every week we've been here. Check it out. Go back, check out our first episode and see what you think and compare it to what we got now. Okay, looking good. We're gonna. Oh, I didn't want to do that actually. Sidetrack there.
What are we painting on?
We have a Limeline tank panel. These are great for practicing, like we're doing here, or practicing and then showing your work. And this is going to be great to be able to show this to potential customers, what you can do, give them ideas. And once again, I pulled this image off of AI, I'm going to ChatGPT, uploaded the photo of the tank, and then asked it to give me some ideas on paint graphics.
What did you paint for the first episode?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I actually did them before Asta came around. I did them for a couple months, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I need some help. I can't answer these questions. And then you jumped on board, and then, yeah, can you remember the first one?
I don't.
I think it was like how to gold leaf or something.
Yeah, I cannot remember. I know I did it after working all day, came home and did it. So I was probably half asleep most of the time.
You saying your energy level is way down then, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm actually not even going to use that tangerine. Reason being is you really don't need it. Simple as that. You really just don't need it because you're using the two colors that make tangerine, and that's all you need.
Laying out
They'll mix itself on the panel.
laying out fine line tape and airbrushing was maybe the first one. What's been your most difficult project? Marbleized on Harley was first 4 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah.
Is that the one? The ice?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. What's been your most difficult project?
That's a good question. Painting on those little tiny mini hoods were always kind of hard. I don't know. There hasn't been anything that really stuck out. They've all kind of been difficult. It's hard to paint live, really. But as long as you're good with making mistakes and showing what happens, and those that have been with us for a long time know there's always stuff that happens. Kind of less lately, though, right? Am I getting better or what? Might be.
Of course.
Okay, let's break that. Where's that cool
Jeremy
paper?
Diamond said, my first was the worst, but has the most views. Laugh out loud. I really enjoyed Ash being willing to get into the pinstriping venture. Well, that was quite an adventure. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, it takes some time.
Yeah,
I just need
that.
to find my gold candy here. There's my red. Is this my gold? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to make more gold. I cannot find it. Can you find this, Ash?
What?
My gold candy. That's the tangerine.
Is this one it?
Oh, there it is. Thank you. I knew you'd find it. I just go to you first. So I don't want to look.
Oh, if that ain't the truth.
I'm like, Ashley will find it real quick.
Gosh, it's the truth. Oh, I can't find anything. Oh, just ask me. And he just looks with his eyes shut.
Okay, this is gold again, so we can kind of just cover it over everything. And that's kind of what we're going to do. You can see where we're spraying this over the red, it's kind of turning it tangerine. Pretty much mixing the paint on the panel. Okay, that's looking great. Let's go ahead and pull off the stencil. We'll do one last little detail session, and then we will do our final giveaway. If you hand me one of those removal blades. I'll cut this.
Up here.
Yeah, it should be up there.
Is this because you can't find it and you're having me do it, or?
No, I just know there's a bunch up there somewhere, right?
There you go.
Thank you. All right, let's see what this looks like.
Painting is hard, but doing videos are worse.
Yeah, it does take some getting used to. I think last year the 24th landed on a Thursday too, didn't it? I swear we were doing a live when there was fireworks outside.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
One more right here, a little straggler. Okay. Wow, looks good. Oh, another one right here. We'll check there's nothing. And then we will.
Did you already do the candy black?
No candy
Or
black.
I mean, sorry, did you already do the black?
Yeah, the black's on there. As you're seeing there. And that's the original black there.
Mm.
Yep. We could go around and it could be shaded again, like bringing the stencil back up in here, darkening that a little bit. We could tighten up little areas down in here. We're not going to do all that. We're gonna highlight it one more time. One more highlight, and then we're going to call this thing good.
Wasn't his hair more black though?
I'm sorry? Okay, last little stencil here. And we're going to kind of just blend this in just a little bit here and there with the Ozzy. So it kind of looks like some of the flames are kind of flowing over. Not going to do too much.
It looks awesome. Awesome as always.
And really, anybody can do this. You can see, you just need a little bit of airbrush control, and you just need to understand where the lights. Oh, I'm glad that didn't look. A little bit of paint got down right there.
Oh.
It's splattered. It actually looks okay because it's fire right there. I'm glad that didn't happen right on the face. Whew! We would have been here a little longer fixing that thing. Yeah, kind of splattered a little bit right there, but that'll kind of add to the effect. Okay, just a little bit of gold. I'm going to kind of fill that in just a little bit. See, I'm just kind of dusting over it, making like a little, like a smoke foggy kind of look. There we go. Blend that in just a little bit.
Looks awesome. Crazy train. Rock on.
Just a little bit back to a little bit of the gold candy again, and it's just to kind of tint that back into that bright gold. Okay, that's it. Like I said, we could do more on this. We can go back and forth, add more detail, register the stencil some more, really hone into certain areas, make sure everything's correct. But this is good enough. This is going to kind of show you what I can do and what you can do, most importantly. This is not above anybody's ability. You just have to try it, and you just got to be patient enough to understand that it's going to look worse before it looks better. And we've kind of all seen that today. So, all right. I'm sure they're all waiting. Let's give that one last giveaway. Somebody's going to win a tank just like this, bare metal, and a combo pack of blue fine line tape that we have. So all you got to do is hashtag Ozzy into the comments.
You're a master of your art, Adam. Practice, practice, practice.
Oh, you got it. That's it right there. Buckle down. Practice every night for a couple hours.
Looks amazing.
3 weeks. You're going to know it. Just practice the basics. Dagger strokes, circles. As long as you can do all those, you can create a stencil. Get good with a razor blade. Use an X-Acto blade. You can cut all your stencils out with an X-Acto blade.
What time is it where we are? It's 10:09.
Kind of see his tongue back there, right? Could do a little more detail in that. So it's just a little fuzzy coming up in there. We could kind of tighten that up. Maybe a little bit more shadow up in there. You can do a little. We could even do just a little. B Diamond probably remembers this. A little highlight in the eye. I think he was shaking when he did his. Could use that. It wasn't in the reference, but we could do it. Okay. What do you think, Ash? Let's give that last one away.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, everybody. D-Real or Dusty? Man, you got it, man. You've won yourself a tank panel. All you have to do is send us an email at info@limelinepaintsupply.com. Let us know that you won and your address, and we will get that out to you. And as you know, next week will be our last episode for the late night paint nights, but we will be starting up new. Was it live at 5? Same day, different time, different facility. Hopefully we can kind of up our game a little bit.
It'll be 5 p.m. California time, right?
California time, yep. So it'll be 3 hours earlier. But remember, you can always, when you get off work, if you're a little late, you can always join on and you can rewatch. You can join us live, and then you can always go back and rewatch the first part if you can't miss that. So, but as I said before, you can watch all of our lives. Rewatch. We got hundreds of them there, I think now. You can check them all out. You can learn a lot. So if you want to learn more about custom paint, check those out. And if you want to do us a favor, leave us a review on Google, on Amazon if you buy a product. Photo reviews, video reviews, they're all great. We appreciate that so much. And thanks for the super chats and the membership gifts.
They say can't wait to see what the new place looks like. Congrats on the new place. Have a good weekend. Great job.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week, and we'll be getting back on that charcoal grill.
Okay, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Have a good weekend.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.